So I'm just watching something kind of awful on Netflix, but I'm on my phone, so I'm kind of like watching two things at the same time. Hence, it doesn't matter if the shit is not very good. But it's about robots, and I feel like it's just taught me a little bit, or I've got something that I just want to show because I feel like it's a really good example of something that a lot of people do. You know, they like to go on the media and they like to portray themselves as being, you know, just out to help others and just, you know, coming up with a good idea and stuff. And then as soon as the cameras go off, they kind of just like turn into a complete monster, have no love or care for the family or respect for women, or, you know, there's a lot of nastiness. And throughout this whole film that I'm watching, it's called Better Than Us, and I really really hate it because I'm just listening, I'm watching it thinking that person's horrible, that person's horrible, that person's horrible. It's just like, is there anyone nice? I don't know why anyone would watch this and think that this is normal. Like, I think if you're a type of person that would watch Better Than Us, this sort of robotic film, and think that these humans are just a good portrayal of what a human is like or what a human should be like, I feel like you must be sick, or there must be something wrong with you, because, you know, I didn't want to watch this, but I found it interesting because it's supposed to be all about the future and what the world is like in the future. And I'm looking at these people just being like, oh, I don't want people to be like that. I don't want someone to be like that. I don't want this. If this is my people and this is my world, I'd rather, I think I'd rather the world blow up than turn into this kind of film that they've portrayed in this film. You know, there are some films where everyone is just disgusting in it, and I don't like these films, but at the same time I see that there is good in films like this because, oh, there's no light in my face. But yeah, I just see that there's this probably needs to be that way, but yeah, I don't like these films, but at the same time, if there is a big catastrophe around the corner, the good thing about these films is that people will watch them and be like, well, I'm glad that the world didn't turn into that. I'm glad that these people were seen as being not very nice. You know, right now I feel like they're not being seen as not very nice. People are watching this and thinking this is just what humans are like. But I think in reality it's like they shouldn't be like this. And if the world turns into this, then I've absolutely failed to you know, to create a decent human. And you know, this film, I guess, is all about creating robots, but I feel like I want to create a real person, and these are not the kind of people that I would want to make. These are heartless, you know. There's in one of it, the robot that it was trying to get rid of. So this robot showed up at a house, and I'm not really following it, but a robot showed up at the house, and she started looking after this kid and had a big strong bond with this kid. And okay, you know that the robot's actually killed someone, so you know that there's something wrong with the robot, or it's got something that's not abiding by the rules. But yeah, the person doesn't know that, and he just wants to get rid of it because he doesn't really like robots. He has got a robot or two, but I don't think he likes the more human-looking versions. Maybe because they're creepy or something. But yeah. But anyway, that he gives the robot to some sort of repair person to try and fix her or whatever. And then the child almost gets run over by a car, and she kind of runs out, saves the child. And he just walks off, and he doesn't even say thank you or anything. You know, there's this completely cold-hearted, just horrible attitude. Anyway, I've just come across this other video now, this other clip where it reminds me of what people are like when they talk. You know, just doing what's best. Is this what's best? We're doing what's best. We're doing what's best. We're doing what's best. And then the second that the camera goes off, it's just, I'm right, you're wrong, you listen to me, and just such a horrible person. And I think there's a lot of people like this. You know, when it comes to retirement, I think it's quite good to retire earlier, but I know there are some people that get purpose from having a job. So, you know, if people don't want to work, then if you don't need them to work that much, or if you don't need to work 5 days a week, you know, if you can live off £10,000 a year, then why are you bothering earning hundreds of thousands of pounds a year? You need a nice house to live in, but once you've got your house, you might not actually need to work huge long hours. Why work when you don't have to? If you've got £1 million in your bank, why not just retire and say, right, that's it, I'm going to retire at 45? You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I think he did make some good arguments. But at the same time, if someone feels purpose in working, you know, if you're a doctor and you love getting out of bed to go and help people in the hospital, you know, if you love that too, then you should be able to do that. So yeah, the idea of I've got a good idea and I'm going to control others into believing in what I believe. I don't think it's a good attitude, but at the same time he didn't come off as being bad until of course the screens came and you just saw him for the kind of monster he was. But I just want to show that as an example.
Alexei Stepanovich, you have told us that your program of early retirement pension has a lot of benefits. Are there really no downsides to it?
What are the potential downsides? A person who's 45 is still relatively young, but now he suddenly no longer has to work. He can do anything that he wants to do. Rest or spend time on his hobbies. Absolute freedom.
Is that a good thing?
What does that mean?
Just that everyone needs to feel like they're wanted. After working so many years, he'll be forced to adapt to a new reality. And if he's full of energy and plans?
He can dedicate that energy to his family if he wants. He can finally spend more time with his wife. He can live whatever kind of life he chooses.
So basically, regardless of what you want, you're forced to retire.
Yes, with respect and with honor.
We'll continue discussing the pros and cons of the early retirement program after the break.
Have you lost it? Who told you to ask those stupid questions?
They're normal questions. My show has to be interesting and offer different opinions.
You'd sell out your old man for nothing. Just like that. Why don't you do something worthwhile?
Like what?
Like what? You're a woman. So go have a child. If you're even still able to.
Dad, we're not alone here.
I don't care. Who gives a damn about them? Our family needs to have an heir. I'm willing to tell everybody out there. I want a grandson. Do you understand me? A boy.
I'm sorry, I'll need a second.
Idiot. I don't want water. Go to hell.
I'll call you. I can't stand it. He sees me as a walking incubator instead of a daughter.
Okay. What happened?
I think a lot of people are like that. They have this facade of being, I'm this, I'm good, I'm righteous, and then as soon as the camera drops, they just are a completely different person. And humans are horrible. Every human in this is just horrible in different ways. And again, it's in a different language, so the mouth wasn't matching. But a lot of people are like that. I like what it says there. Tissue box.